4 members of the Senate introduced legislation on Wednesday that would ban minors under the age of 13 from using social media and mandate parental consent for those younger than 18. The bill, called the Protecting Kids on Social Media Act, would also prohibit the use of algorithmic content recommendations for all minors in order to reduce the addictive elements of social media. The bill is sponsored by, looks like, 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, so it's a bipartisan bill. One of the Democrats, Brian Schatz, this is an actual last name, says the growing evidence is clear. Social media is making kids more depressed and wreaking havoc on their mental health. While kids are suffering, social media companies are profiting. This needs to stop. Our bill will help us stop the growing social media health crisis among kids by setting a minimum age and preventing companies from using algorithms to automatically feed them addictive content based on their personal information. Now, I'd have to read. I haven't read the actual bill. I'd have to read more into it. But just on surface level, based on the quick description of it, I'm in favor of it. I think it's a very good idea. But there's also, as I said, an interesting contrast here, because you have at least some Democrats who are willing to say that, you know, kids under a certain age shouldn't be exposed to this at all. Like, kids under 13 shouldn't be on social media at all. It should be banned from being on it, is what the bill says. I agree. There's no good reason for an 11-year-old child to be on social media. No good can come from it. It cannot help them. It's like there's zero chance of it helping them in any way. And there's a great chance that it hurts them. So when you're putting a child on social media, giving a child access to social media, you are doing something that for that child, it's all downside and there is zero upside. The only upside, really, and this is why parents do it, is that it gets them out of your hair and it occupies them so that you don't have to deal with them. But that's not really upside. That's not upside for them, right? That's an upside for you in your laziness, but it's not an upside for them. It's not going to benefit them. So I totally agree. No kid under 13 should be on social media. I don't think any kid should be on social media, period, at any age. Because the same rule applies. 16-year-olds, how do they benefit from being on social media? I know why they want to be on it. Understand that. But do they benefit? Does it make them a better person? Will it make them healthier, happier? Will it do any of that? Is there any chance? Okay, is there any chance that your kid will, make it into adulthood and then look back on their childhood without social media and lament and say, I wish I was using social media all that time? You think you're ever going to find it, be at a point as a parent, years down the line, when you say to yourself, I wish my kid had spent more time on social media, if only? No, that would never happen. If you don't know where your meat comes from, then you should change the way you buy meat today. And the way to do that is by using our friends, Good Ranchers, because they take this incredibly seriously. You deserve meat that you can confidently serve to your family without fear of what's in it. You also deserve delicious meat with unmatched quality. You deserve all of that. I personally subscribe to Good Ranchers. Not only is their meat fantastic, but they're also giving you free bacon for a year, a $240 value. That's 1.5 pounds of bacon in every box. In fact, just 2 days ago, I got my most recent Good Ranchers delivery, and we have it we get it every 6 weeks. We have it coming in, so we should be good for the next 6 weeks. Good Ranchers offers a price lock guarantee. Just another great way to beat inflation. Their products are unlike any other. I can tell you from experience, they're all natural burgers, USDA prime steaks, and better than organic chicken have changed my standard for great meat and will change yours too. You can use my code Walsh for an extra $20 off your order. How can American meat get any better? Well, Good Ranchers has already donated over 1 million meals to local food banks, and they're just getting started. Support American farms and ranchers with Good Ranchers today. Head to goodranchers.com, use my code Walsh for $20 off your box, free bacon, great meat, secure price, a bonus $20 off today. You can't lose. It's a win-win situation. That's promo code Walsh at goodranchers.com, goodranchers.com, American meat delivered. Your online data includes personal information such as your name, address, phone number, email address, financial information, and login credentials. Hackers want to steal this information and sell it on the dark web for where they can use it for various criminal activities such as phishing, ransomware, and identity theft. Needless to say, it's incredibly important that you use a VPN to prevent that from happening. But choosing a VPN you trust is equally as important. That's why we recommend using ExpressVPN every time you go online. ExpressVPN makes you anonymous online by camouflaging your IP address and replacing with a different secure IP of your choice. ExpressVPN also encrypts all of your data so that it's protected from hackers and anyone else that's trying to spy on you. I love ExpressVPN because it doesn't log your activity. Lots of cheap or free VPNs make money by selling your data to advertisers, but ExpressVPN doesn't do that. They've even developed a technology that makes their VPN servers incapable of storing any data at all. ExpressVPN is incredibly easy to use. Just fire up the app, click one button, and that's it. Plus, it works on all of my devices, my phone, my laptop, even my Wi-Fi router. So if you're like me and you believe that your internet data belongs to you, then ExpressVPN is the answer. Visit expressvpn.com/Walsh and get 3 months free. That's expressvpn.com/Walsh, expressvpn.com/Walsh to learn more. But there are going to be a lot of kids as they get older who deeply lament how much time they spent on it, and many parents who regret allowing it. Agree with all that, but obviously the hypocrisy here is that, at least you have some Democrats who can see that kids under a certain age shouldn't be on social media, and yet it seems almost certain that those same Democrats, and I don't know, I could look it up, these particular Democrats, what's their position on this, but almost every Democrat is fully on board with kids taking gender transition drugs, puberty blockers, chemical castration. And so if a bill like this passes, we're going to be in a situation where, on the federal level, nationwide, we have declared that 12-year-old children are not old enough to use Twitter. They are not old enough to use TikTok. But they are old enough to take castration drugs. They are old enough for hormone therapy that sterilizes them. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense, but considering this bill on its own, in a vacuum, it does make sense to me. And look, I understand the argument, and I've heard this even from plenty of people on the right, that this is a parental rights thing and parents should be able to make the decision. I don't see it as parental rights any more than, setting an age limit for alcohol, setting an age limit for tobacco, setting an age limit even for R-rated movies. I don't see it as a parental rights issue any more than those things are. And most people, now if you take a really purist libertarian stance on this, if you're an absolutist libertarian type, then you probably say, well, yeah, there shouldn't be any age limit for those things either. Right? Let parents make up their own mind. But most people aren't really troubled by the fact that there's a drinking age. Now, we could argue about how effective the drinking age is and all the rest of it, but most people, there's not much of a movement to lower the drinking age to 16 or 14 or to get rid of it entirely. Most people are okay with that because they understand that it's just, even if you set an age for it, that's not actually going to stop, right? If a kid really wants to drink, they're still going to be able to do it. But we're at a minimum, we're at least making a statement as a society that this is not something that kids should be doing. And there's no benefit to throwing open the doors of the liquor store and say, yeah, 13-year-olds, come on in. And so that's why the laws are in place the way they are. And I think it's the same thing with social media. In fact, I think you could make a very good argument that kids open kind of unfettered access and exposure to social media is even more damaging for kids than alcohol. I think you could make that argument because it damages them at an even deeper level. Like it's affecting the kind of person that you are and that you'll become. It's affecting your mind. Of course, alcohol does that too, obviously, but I think even at an even deeper level. That'll do it for this portion of shows. Move over to Members Block. You can become a member today by using code Walsh at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans. See you over there. If not, talk to you tomorrow. Godspeed.